What's up guys, it's TyranitarTube and welcome back to the Ku-Tang clan. I'm sure this will be the last Ku video for a while. I hope so. It's like I've got stuff to do. But we expected this one. Okay, let me introduce. So of course Ku, you know him. He got real information. He's been posting riddles over the last while. And to summarize the riddles, the latest riddle we've been trying to uncover is about the mascots for Scarlet and Violet. He's been teasing the mascots in an array of images that he posted over 7 days, and I'll put them up on screen right now. It goes from Lugia, Kyogre, and Groudon all the way down to Solgaleo and Lunala, and there's 7 images. Our original theory was about color theory, that the two legendaries would represent 2 different ways to produce colors, the way to get colors out of white and the way to get colors out of black, and ultimately the 2 legendaries would represent black and white while also representing the colors, because there's this whole theory about the electromagnetic spectrum where infrared and ultraviolet are beyond the colors we can see on 2 opposite sides, just beyond red and purple, which are the colors of the games. Today we bring up some interesting thoughts about what these games could be about and how the legendaries might be different in this game. Okay, so these 7 images, they were supposed to be an 8th image that would complete the theory that they're based on the 2 different ways to get colors, but there's only 7. He cut it off at 7. The last image should have been something magenta, but there is no last image. Ku successfully red herringed us. He made us think we were on the right path, and he even messed with us. Endgame in 2 days. A collage will be posted to complete the riddle. Saw many interesting and ingenious fan theories. Good job, guys. But it's like we cracked the riddle, but that wasn't the answer. We just found a coincidence amongst his riddles. So he commended us on finding some answer in it, but apparently it wasn't the answer. So now we get to today. After posting those 7 images, he's been teasing dropping the bomb on the last piece that should complete the puzzle of these images. Here's the teaser he posted on May 17th, where most of the stuff is blacked out, except this image here called Grape. There's also other images of teasers he's probably gonna post weeks or months down the line. The GL teaser one, maybe gym leader teaser, new Pokemon data, a Pokemon teaser, a 3rd regional variant, and Gen 9 Pokedex. And man, does he screw with us by blocking out just enough of the space. See, this Pokedex is an image not of the Gen 9 Dex, but the national Dex in Scarlet and Violet, which means the blacked out areas would have Gen 9 Pokemon in it, but it would start from the Pokemon that Game Freak would code into the games starting from Kanto. So you can see in the top left, there's a bit of red, there's a bit of yellow. That means Charizard's in the game. The other starters probably aren't because you can't see any green or blue. And this is going in National Dex order. And there's some yellow. So people speculate Charizard and Pikachu and a lot of Pokemon aren't going to be in the games. This was known though. No use getting upset, guys. We've been through this for like 4 years now. Anyhow, the one picture we can see, Grape, I talked about this briefly in the last video. If you zoom into, shows specific rideable Pokemon. By zooming in the photo, you could get an idea of what it consisted of. It's pretty much this, which people just found the separate images on the internet anyways. It's showing certain legendary Pokemon being ridden, but we'll get to that in a sec. The image is titled Grape, which we started theorizing that maybe it's a joke because the kanji for grape is this symbol, and this symbol can also be used to say Portugal. The other thing grape could mean is literally purple, representing one of the 2 legendaries. Fast forward to a day later, which is today, and he's dropped the collage officially. Say welcome to our grape legend trainers. So it was about the Violet legendary. Now I'm gonna censor the picture because Riddler could move and mad. But pretty much, this has every Pokemon from the teaser in it, from Lugia all the way down to Solgaleo and Lunala. This is what he was trying to spell out with the 7 Pokemon. He was teasing Pokemon that in some sort of official media has been seen ridden. The Oraz games, Lugia in the anime, and in some artwork, and then the Ultra Warp Ride. And then this wheelchair dog, which is a jab at Central Leaks. But anyhow, when he dropped those images and titled this collage of the answers Grape, he means this collage of images is referring to Grape, the Violet mascot. It has nothing to do with the other legendary, the orange mascot at all. We don't have any hints about the Scarlet one, but he says Violet is his favorite one. The dog, Central must have told this man something mad in DMs. I don't know, bro, don't look at me. The dog is very possibly a part of the Riddle too. All of this has to do with this Violet legendary. Along with riding legendaries, this can also be related to riding Pokemon, like some sort of dog legendary or a legendary on a chariot that you can ride. Like, what could this mean? Let's say I'm playing Pokemon Violet. maybe the Violet legendary is this monumental thing that everyone in the region knows about and is alive and chilling and protecting the region. And near the start of the game, you befriend it. Like maybe after beating the first gym leader, it takes a liking to you and it wanders around with you. Not in your party, but is rideable. It can make for something interesting for the climax, like maybe the opposite mascot is lost and is the one found by the evil team. But this is the best I get from this collage. What could he mean when he shows these rideable Pokemon and the dog and says this is supposed to represent the Violet legendary? And probably its role in the game. You done goof now, cool. I'm gonna go buy some grapes. Okay, I forget where we left off. Ku was asked what his thoughts on the legend was. So he says, I really love the grape ver. 10 out of 10. Though orange functions the same as grape, it's way cooler because of the specific motive. So it's probably like Solgaleo and Lunala in the Ultra Warp Ride. One's flying, one's running, but something is sprouting out here. This difference between the two legendaries. Both legendaries have a different motive, which they've always had, the sun and moon, the sun and rain, but it sounds like it's gonna be something exciting, like Yveltal and Xerneas being life and death. Anyhow, that's the best we can give with this image. I don't think it's far-fetched that the way it described, maybe we're gonna see the legendary early, and it's gonna play a proper role that a legendary should over its region, but the other mascot is where the problem is gonna be. But for it to like befriend you or you ride it, you must be some mad person. We'll see if we're right or how close we are once the legendaries are revealed, which should be at the start of the hype season, except we move to a different thing that Ku has said. Obviously Ku has his sources, but he doesn't know certain things in stone. So one of the things he's unsure about is the covers for Scarlet and Violet. He says the covers have a chance of being like Legends Arceus, where it's just a cinematic cover. Game Freak's really learned their lesson in recent Pokemon games of not spoiling stuff. If they take this a whole degree further and not even show us the legendaries on the cover, okay, it'd be interesting, but at the same time, bro, what, you're gonna have two different sceneries on the covers? If it's one game, like Pokemon Legends was, okay, makes sense. But people gotta be at GB Games, looking at the shelf. They can't see two games with just sceneries. I'm sure they'll be on the covers. Okay, so let's move to the end of the riddles for now. Soon after, Ku tweeted this gibberish, which I had to read like 7 times to understand. He says 2 pieces of information in this. One, that this teaser he posted in April with all these arrows and circles around it that we don't really know the answer to, but we just speculate the answer is that the legendaries are Electric Dragon and Electric Fighting. The first info is that soon he gonna explain that to us. We're gonna find out what the crap this is. The second thing he says is that he wants to show something, but is gonna wait until the next trailer comes out. Well, the first trailer of the hype season, which is juicy because it kind of hints that the trailer is nearby. We already know the season's gonna start in May or June, but to hear from him really reminds us that it's really close. So that'll be interesting, and also it doesn't look like he's gonna freaking go away anytime soon. And then the final thing. This is the last riddle he drops, and it's an open riddle. It's not even his riddle. Piece of crap. You ready? The final piece of info he leaves us with is saying that he's not the only one doing the riddles, in the sense that Pokemon themselves, in their very first trailer, left us a riddle, and that if we properly look at that first trailer, that we can find the themes for the 2 games. Remember he said the motifs for the 2 legendaries are different? We can find what that motif, or is motif even the word? It sounds so posh. We can find the contrasting theme between the legendaries / games are. So this opens up a whole box, and this is what everyone is doing, digging around trying to figure out what it is. And since he put this picture of the clock from the trailer, people think it's related to that somehow. Bro, nobody knows. People are bringing all sorts of ideas. Here we got Don J. Nature versus machine technology. So I guess we can hope wild versus modern Pokemon games, or primitive versus futuristic. See, Ku said to find the contrast, to find how the 2 games will differ, which is so weird because the 2 games shouldn't differ too much. So while these are some mad ideas, there is some sort of contrast we're supposed to be able to find. And since a lot of you guys tagged me in these, I'll bite one of yours too. Here's this, Mr. Solar. He thinks the clock is a hint. Scarlet and Violet could refer to the past versus present Spanish flag. Scarlet and Violet maybe take place in different times, possibly 50 years apart. The main character of Scarlet is the grandson of Violet. Okay, that's a fun idea, and I dig it, but I don't think Game Freak's gonna want to work hard to make 2 versions that different. But this then brings me down the rabbit hole of time travel. The idea of time travel ain't so far-fetched, though it is still far-fetched. See, many people have said, When you look at the Scarlet and Violet fonts, one looks classic and royal, one looks smooth and clean, almost futuristic. Look at these little dots. We're the future. Scarlet even got the serifs. That's those little edges, while Violet don't, which makes Scarlet look more old. So people have drawn the idea that something in these two versions splits them very apart. You know, royalty and new people. The future and past, old and new. So, for example, let's watch the trailer and keep your mind on the idea of time travel as you're watching this. All right, y'all ready? We're gonna go through this trailer with this in mind. Click. Okay, so of course, the trailer starts off with this policeman, and he's investigating. He's seeing if everything's locked. He's going into Game Freak's studio at night. Sucker, you ain't allowed in here. This man is Riddler Coup. I've uncovered it. This is how he knows everything. Who would have thought Riddler Coup the movie? So he sees this flashing room, these conspicuous lights, and he walks in. And we can see, oh, he walking to Game Freak. So our police boy wanders into Game Freak, big lights. But when he enters, the room is different. It's all old, dusty, dust in the air. It looks abandoned almost. How could this be Game Freak Studio? I mean, just think about it. The creators of this trailer, what were they going for? On the outside, Game Freak Studio had all these lights coming out of it. On the inside, it looks like it's from a different time period. Looks like people haven't been here for a long time. So while he's in there sniffing up the asbestos, the coffee starts bubbling. The book starts flipping on its own, and the clock starts going crazy. This is the clock from Riddler Coup's tweet. Is this room a time capsule? Is he being sent to a different time? What does it mean when the clock is going crazy? The lights start flashing, door slams closed, he can't leave anymore, and then the light overwhelms him. And now he's forced to witness this trailer in his mind. So we're on the topic of time travel, right? To say a few things, the clock, if you slow it down, doesn't just rewind or fast forward, it jumps back and forth. If this is somehow supposed to indicate something, surely it would just go in one direction constantly. Okay, then the gameplay trailer plays. Shows us the beautiful region, and then the moment it shows the switch, boom. Oh, show it, bro. Why, the switch is right here. Also advertising the switch light, the switch, and another switch. Now, were these switches always in the room? Or maybe did this call out to him to look in the direction of the switch that was always in the room? Okay, when the trailer ends, it comes back to our man, who after being overwhelmed from that light, everything's calmed down. The pages, the coffee, everything seems to have stopped. The doors even open again. And then he looks over. The frick is that? Oh, shoot. Sees a photo frame of the 3 starters. And this Dyson fan in the corner. Yo, bro, what that? Anyhow, when the starters are done being shown, an unusual light comes from the frame to transition to the Scarlet and Violet logos. You see that? A light that really seems like it has something to do with the theme of the game. Scarlet, Violet. And then it shows the door, probably signaling that the policeman has left. So what happened here? Go call up your English teacher, ask him. So it seems either that the room was possessed, the Pokemon was calling out to him, or that he time traveled, or that he was straight tripping and imagined it all. I mean, think about it. The coffee and everything stopped. So either something went down or he was tripping. That's the closest analysis I can do for this trailer. What do you see when you see that? Oh, crap. Okay, so let's entertain this time travel idea further. Where have we seen time travel in Pokemon? Aside from Looker, Ingo, and the ancient Sinnoh Pro tag? I don't know, bro. But Maxie and Archie are an ancient Sinnoh. Drawings of them. Now, there's a good possibility that maybe they're ancestors and just mad strong, and that Archie and Maxie just grew up to be like them. But then there's this picture of Alder, and my man looks the same, bro. What's going on? The question is, what does time travel mean? That we're gonna go to the future of this Spain region, the past? As my guy who tagged me wanted, 2-game split. I don't think they do that. The most they'll do is like Black City and White Forest, but they're not making 2 whole games when people would perceive them as one on the shelves. And to look at time travel meta-wise, Pokemon is made with everything in mind. The TCG, the anime, Game Freak, would they make a game where you're sent like thousands of years to Spain's past or the future? How would it play out in the anime? The Gen 8 anime is probably going to end this year. The best to make time travel possible is if we're from a distant future or distant past and we travel to the familiar moment in time that is now. And perhaps this can be the small difference that sets the game apart. In one game you're from the future, in one game you're from the past, you don't have any memories probably, so that it doesn't affect the version differences. But maybe your mysterious past is why the legendary takes a liking to you and becomes this rideable Pokemon that befriends you from early on in the game. Or maybe the legendary of this game is this mysterious creature that's missing in current times, but existed in the past and exists in the future in a different form. And maybe it's not that the protagonist is a time traveler, but the evil team, somehow uncovering information about this Pokemon's existence, is creating a rift to pull either the Scarlet legendary from the past in one game or the Violet legendary from the future in one game. Now, I mean, there's only so much you can do with time travel. It's not that I don't want more, but you let me know your thoughts. That freaking covers it. I think we'll be free from riddles for a while now. And also that dog, if you're curious about it, he chillin'. He's better. Don't even think about it. Don't be like me getting sad over stupid crap. Anyhow, go on and shank the like button and I'll catch y'all later. Take care.
I'm the man. Give me my spot on that throne. They didn't want me to grow. They didn't know I would make all of them grow. I did it all on my own. Man, what was you when I was trapped in my zone? Never had nothing to own. Now it's all good. All of that frontin' is gone. I'm out here stunning for show. Bitch, I'm a pro.